My name is Kyle. I'm one of the developers on the Perfect framework. What this conference is going to cover is a brief overview of what Perfect is, how it's laid out in the repository, and how you can get started and possibly either use Perfect for your own projects or help contribute.
I'm Gabriel, and I hope you guys can hear me. I showed you just here some simple classes where I have a cat, where I have three ways of initialize that, giving the name and the breed, and also just a convenience in it where I pass the name and also one for the breed, just for the sake of the test.
My name is Farah, and today I'm going to talk about rapid product development using iOS open source libraries. After I press the search button, it calls the request. Request is the primary queue, which is the name of the GIF we want to search. And the API key they already got from Giphy. It's a public API since they're in beta. And the rating because we don't want any inappropriate content here.
So today we're going to talk about generics. And I really think that they're one of the most special things about Swift and what really sets it apart from a lot of other languages. Now generics isn't anything new, it's nothing that Swift invented, but I think they really found a way to incorporate them into the language that it just makes them more powerful. So extensions were introduced in, they were part of Swift language from the very beginning. But generic extensions were just introduced in 2.2, and there's so many plans for them going forward into the future that's just going to make us awesome.
The static dispatch and the dynamic dispatch. When people talk about the dynamic and static dispatch are really maybe confusing the context, because what this means is in which moment a call to a function is going to be resolved.
Well, I'm going to start now the talk about Opera to make basic requests using Opera. In order to accomplish that, Opera provides an abstraction. Basically, the abstraction is the route type protocol. So any type that we want to consume, any endpoint that we want to consume, we should make it conforms to route type.
Some will return true and that optional value. And because they're just enums that come with these functions, there's a lot of really cool things you can do with optionals for these if cases.
How long does it take to port an app? Okay, so it's really straightforward. It's really straightforward using this kind of technique, because like we saw, I developed all the logging part using TDD in a way that was independent of if the application was running on iOS or Mac, anything. It was pure Swift. Only some parts maybe depend on Foundation, but with Swift 3.0 it will not be a problem. After doing that, I developed the iOS application, and to port it to Mac it took like 1 hour, not more than 1 hour, and I never had done a macOS application before. It's really a matter of calling delegate your behavior from the events of the user, in this case IB actions, and hooking the behavior through the UI.
I'm a software developer at Directi, and today I will be presenting to you Swifty core data.
What I have seen and what stick out to me a little bit was that the entire WDC was a lot focused in direction of diversity and education, accessibility.
Hi, this is Boris, and I'm going to talk to you about cross-platform Swift today. Let's first say a few words about me.
How do you blend non-functional programming styles and generally work with functional programming into projects that already have other programming styles and programmers that might not be FP savvy? I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh yeah, thanks for the Jesse Squires link, by the way. The way that I usually combine it, I haven't found a this is the way that I want to do apps from now on. I've tried different things. I've tried to go all in with functional reactive programming and putting it into just a side project app that I'm working on. But it seems a little bit too heavy. But in general, right now, when I code normally, I use functional part of Swift all the time. It's usually code that is done inline. So instead of having a couple of nested if statements or for loops or something else, it's done much nicer in the functional programming way, I think.
Okay, welcome everyone to building a website in Swift. My name is Tanner. This is a very serious picture of me. I'm a software engineer. I've been programming for a little over 10 years.
Okay, let's create the first form. And we will go here to the playground. I have a playground. And what I have here is basically a form view controller. I define here, and then we create a form. Let's move this here. We have a form, and to the form we append a section, and we set the title of the section to be our first section. Then, if we get the first element of the form, remember I told you that the form is a collection of sections, so we can use it's a collection type, so we can use this array-like methods on form to get sections. So we can, for example, use first. We know that it exists because we have just appended it to the form. And okay, we append a name row to the form, and we specify the tag of the row to be named. Then we set the title of this name row. You will see it appears here, and we append an email row also to the same section with tag email and title and your email. Okay, and now if we play this, it is already here, but we can interact with this. Right? This is so a form. It's as simple as this to define a basic form.
These, right? X will get confused. You will say that this expression takes too long to resolve, and then it wasn't. Please break it into smaller steps. That's a bummer. Like if you have lots of fields in your JSON model, Xcode might not be able to pass that.
Thank you very much. Take care, and please feel free to. Feel free to tweet me, email me. I'm really responsive. Salut.